Okay,
Yep.
Hello everyone. My name's Claire. I'm sitting in Melbourne at the moment, and today I'm going to take you through how to export XSL reports from Miradi. So they're specifically for World Heritage. They're reports that we have had written for us. For example, management plans and annual budgets and a 5-year budget and a number of other different reports that people have asked for us to be able to pull out directly from Miradi. I guess the idea behind this was that we're putting all this data in here. Why not just extract a management plan directly out of here and have a management plan that's relatively live in a way, instead of having one sitting on a shelf getting all dusty. So we had a lovely man called Richard Alcorn, and I've just got a picture of him here. I wanted everyone to see him. Here he is. So he wrote us a bunch of XSL open source programs. So it's basically just an open source language, so we could read the data out of Miradi. So thank you, Richard. And I'll just go back to. So I've got a project open at the moment in Miradi, as you can see in the conceptual model. It's Kojonup Reserve, which is in southwest Australia. And I'm just going to show you, so if we just see here, we've got a threatened fauna target, and I'll just open it up for a second and show you if it opens. So we've got some details in here. Obviously, you know about the details in the factor properties box that relates specifically to threatened fauna. And we've said we've got an ID here of TO4. So that's relevant for pulling out an Excel report from the reports tab. So I'm just going to go down to the reports tab now, where Jens was before, and he was looking at the standard reports and the report templates, and I'm going to be looking at the XSL templates. So I'm going to pull out a management plan, and it's a HTML extension, and I've included, I'm just ticking here the include images. So what we've done is we've set up a folder on our C drive that has a bunch of different images in there that relates specifically to Kojonup, and we've added the ID. So for example, with the threatened fauna and the TO4, I've got a picture in that folder that's TO4. So that will be imported into the management plan when I run a report. So I just run the run report tab, and I have to put this into an empty folder. So I've just got an empty folder here, which I just choose, and it just ticks it away for a little second, and then I've got report completed, so I just tick OK. And then I'll just navigate to that folder, and you'll see here I've got this HTML file here, and I'm just going to right click on that, and I'm going to open it with Microsoft Word. And then you see a little picture of a Fascagale. How cute is he? Yeah. I'm just going to save that as a Word document. And I'll just view that in print layout, because that's the way I normally like to see things. And here's our management plan. So the text in Miradi, underneath that target for threatened fauna, if I just scroll down, you see that the pictures have been inserted in here. There's just a little bit of fiddling with some of the images. I'll just scroll down. Hopefully that's not too messy for your eyes. There's another picture. I'll go down to the target. Threatened fauna, and there's the text that comes directly out of that factor properties box from the target box in Miradi, and there's a little picture of a Fascagale that's actually been tagged as TO4, so it can be inserted into the document when you run that XSL report. You can copy and paste from the HTML file and put it into a template, which I won't do at the moment, because the template I tried to do before was had different coloured headings, so I'll just run with this one. But you can save it as a PDF, and all the text in here, if we keep scrolling down, comes directly out of Miradi. So we've written the XSL report to find the text and dump it into the right places. Coming up with this template, we had a project team and we just talked to a number of our reserve managers and ecologists and asked them how they would prefer to see the management plan. So, so it goes all the way through. We've got our conceptual model, viability assessment, the threat table, and then if we can just adjust the sizes of these results chains to fit in. So you do a little bit of fiddling around, but it's incredible how easy it is to, you just do all your edits directly in Miradi and then you can just pull out a report like this. It's so much easier than how we used to do it back in the old days. And it also, it's really good for document control as well. So there's just a number of our strategies as you scroll down with the text from the strategy factor properties box. So that's that example. I just thought, so I've still got a bit of time here.
Yep.
My little clock thing here going, ticking. So I'll just close that off. I'll just save that. Don't need that anymore. And I've just got a couple of other reports that I've prepared earlier. So we can pull out, as you see back in the reports section of Miradi, we've got the 5-year work plan, XSL, a region team plan, and an annual work plan. So every year we'll pull out the annual work plan and put that into Excel, and that feeds, that data from that feeds directly into our finance system. And it's another way for people to be able to see their work plan instead of coming into Miradi. They've got an Excel version and it looks a bit like this one. So it has a summary tab and all this, as you can see, all the results chains come out into the summary tab, and it gives you the totals for each of the results chains. And then in the details field, just in this third tab here, it runs from strategy to strategy and gives you our account codes and days and also expenses. So that's just another way for people to be able to view some of the data in Miradi. There's another report here. This is the Kojanup scorecard. So we've written a 5-year ecological review for Kojanup, and the findings from that, we pulled together a scorecard. So as you can see, notice some of these symbols here, they come from Miradi, so we're kind of following the same symbol. So you've got that continuity in the images and symbols that you see. This report doesn't come directly out of Miradi like when I've just pulled out the management plan, but it is still data that is linked to Miradi in terms of our measures for our indicators in our viability table, and some of the measures that we're looking at with our threat mitigation objectives. And another one here is the prospectus. So it's like a truncated version of our management plan, and our fundraising and marketing team use this for fundraising purposes. And I've just included in here. So this text here in the Kojanup prospectus comes directly from the project description in the summary view in Miradi. You'll see the conservation vision. So that comes out of the vision, the summary view in Miradi. The same thing again, this isn't an XSL report, but it's still using the same concept of you write it once and then you use it many times. So just in the second page here, you'll see we've got the target name and the target details that come out of Miradi, and the target goal, the threats, our objectives and strategies. And then we've got some of the information about our indicators for monitoring for each of our targets. And there's another picture of a phascogale, isn't he cute? And that's Angela, our ecologist of Kojanup, and she's also the reserve manager. And there's a 3-year budget that we can pull out, and that's probably using one of the reports that you talked about, Jens. So you can mix it up a little bit and use your XSLs and your the other reports as well. So there's so much information that you can get out of Miradi and use. You know, you can cut and paste how you want to be able to see things. How much time have I got? So we've got 5 minutes.
You've done well. There's a question there in the chat box from Nate, Claire, around asking if, Nate, you're asking if the management plan was specific to bush heritage in the way we've built our Miradi files, or bottom line, can I use your XSL code to generate reports from my Miradi files? The general answer is yes. The reports are geared to pull out information in particular boxes within Miradi, and that's what we've sort of set it all up to do. But yeah, generally, if you've got a fair bit of data in Miradi, then this report will start to pull all that out. What we're wanting to do longer term or short term, if we can, is lots of people want to be able to do this kind of reporting. So we've got to find a way to get this made easily available and either built into Miradi Share or having some sort of library of templates somewhere that people can use, or some way to share this kind of stuff around, because lots of people we talk to want to be able to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, and I suppose once you've got that first XSL report, you can change it around and change the parameters to suit your own organisation. So I guess it's just having access to that first cut.
Jens, do you want to talk about what you're doing with I4 around reporting programs? You're on mute at the moment.
Unmute. There we go.
There you
go. Yeah, I'm working with the International Fund for Animal Welfare at the moment. Also doing similar stuff as what Bush Heritage is doing. I'm customizing the management plan, or project plan as they call it, to suit their needs. It's going to look quite a bit different from the Bush Heritage ones you've just seen that Claire presented. But were there any specific questions, Annette? I was just tuned out for a minute.
Just Nate was asking whether he could use this type of reporting, these XSL reports,
right? Yeah,
for his projects.
Source,
yeah.
Right. So,
yeah. Yep.
Well, yeah, we managed to use. Yeah, we were lucky to be able to leverage of the Bush Heritage coding. So yeah, that's awesome, and I think it's open source, so everybody can leverage of each other. Once my work for IFA is done, I'll definitely share it in the community as well, and people can learn from that. Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty.